Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Fandom Fights. We are deep into the summer series tournament, the singles tournament here. Today, we have a very, very interesting match. We have the number 31 seed, Brittani Tapley, winning the five-way play-in order to get here, earned her spot to be in the tournament today, but she's going up against the number 2 seed, Cain McMillan. Cain McMillan is back. The last time he played was in 2019. I believe his last match he played Kaleb Koho, won that match, and now tonight is being managed by Mr. Koho. Brittani also picking up management with Ethan Beller after the play-in. We got the message the next day, pretty much. She's in the faction. So it's going to be interesting to see now both these people have management behind them. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. It's been a while for Cain. Brittany's played recently. Who knows what's going to happen? So let's get into it right now with the promos.
All right, really quick. I'm going to say something really quick and let Brittany get into it. Yeah, what Tim says is true. I saw Brittany playing the play-in. She beat a faction mate, Andrew Barr, and instantly we were like, we got to have her. We got to get her in the faction, and we fortunately did. So, Brittany, I'm not a Fandom player. I don't know much about this stuff. I manage it, but my best matches in Fandom are when my players just are really good, so I don't have to worry about what's going on in the match, which is the situation right now. So how are you feeling about your first tournament match? I'm excited to see you do some damage, especially at a 31 seed when we know you're going to be winning some matches. So let's how are you feeling about that?
Good. I feel like with the number 31, I feel like I have nothing to lose. I feel like there's no weight on my shoulders. I'm feeling really good right now, honestly. Feeling good. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no weight, no pressure. Let's get in there, have fun, and win your first match.
Sounds great.
This is an arc coming to completion, isn't it? Look, I got a message right after the free-for-all back in January from Cain McMillan that said, that wasn't the best, and I'm hungry. What do I got to do? And the last several months, he's been practicing. He's been watching the movies. He's been putting in the work. He's been getting back into the gym and getting back into shape. I'm so excited to be the one here representing today Cain the Hurricane McMillan back in the game he built. This is super exciting. I just got to say real quick to Brittany, you're great. You're really good. And you can do so much better than Club Dread. Because if their standard for you to be on their faction is you got to beat Andrew Barr, then I'm pretty sure Hunter Chambliss would be in Club Dread in the Fandom division. So they don't know what they're doing. Cody's here. I'm here. Even DMC's better at this point. But here's what I got today. I got one of the best to play coming back to the game. I'm very excited to see what happens. Cain, you got any words?
No. I'm going to say this. I don't take anyone lightly. 31C doesn't mean shit. So I'm here. I've been studying, and we're going to see if it paid off.
Manners maketh man. Let's play.
All right. Well, those were some interesting promos from the competitors, but let's get right into round number 1. Here's how it's going to work. There are going to be 10 questions from 10 random categories in the realm of Fandom Fights. Each question is worth 1 point apiece. If you get all 10 questions correct, you will be issued a bonus question from a mystery category. Who knows what it could be? We could bring back kaiju just for this. I don't know. No, we're not. I'm lying. It's a lie. No kaiju. But any questions from the competitors as we get into the match?
Nope.
All right. Your first question is in the category of Mission Impossible. And the question is, who plays Luther Stickle in the Mission Impossible series? I think my favorite thing ever is to be a solo host and just kind of look over at Maggie and try to get her to kind of co-host with me from the couch, and it never really works. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We will start with Cain.
I said Ving Rhames.
And Brittany.
Spelled a little differently, but I put Ving Rhames as well.
We can accept both of those. Spelling does not count. So yes, that is correct. 1-1 as we get into the next question, which is in Star Wars. What planet do Obi-Wan and Anakin fight on at the end of Revenge of the Sith? also known as the best of the prequels, also known as not in the top 3 Star Wars movies, Kaleb Koho. Sorry. It is entertaining, but it's still bad. A turd is still a turd. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Brittani.
It'd be Mustafar.
And Cain.
Mustafa.
Both correct. 2-2. We get into the next one, which is in horror icons. In A Nightmare on Elm Street, it is revealed that a bunch of neighborhood parents killed Freddy. How did they kill him? I do not condone murder, but if you were gonna murder someone, Freddy's a pretty awful person. I'm getting the no from backstage. He's horrible. He's the villain. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Cain.
I said chopped off his head.
And Brittani.
I guess burned him alive.
Burned him alive is correct.
Nice.
So Brittani striking first blood, 3-2, as we get into the next one, which is in DC. Name one of the 2 British buildings that are destroyed in V for Vendetta. This movie has grown on me. Didn't love it the first time I watched it, but as I keep going back to it, I like it a little bit more each time. I think I'm finally starting to get it, as they say. But her accent is still rough. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. I believe we are to Brittani first.
I'm not sure on this. I just put Big Ben.
And Cain.
I also put Big Ben.
Both incorrect. We were looking for Old Bailey or Parliament. All right. So no perfect rounds today as we get into the next one, which is in DreamWorks animation. What food is Grug not allowed to eat at the Bettermans in The Croods: A New Age? This movie is... I actually kind of dig it. I'm kind of a fan. Maggie hated it. Cody hated it. I don't know how Nick feels about it. I know Koho and I are on the same page on this one. I actually kind of enjoyed it. Thought it was fun. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Cain.
Steak.
And Brittani.
I have no idea. I just put avocado.
Both incorrect. We were looking for bananas. All right. Your next question is in Disney live action. Which Disney live action film features a Las Vegas cab driver attempting to help 2 alien children get home? McCaw glaring at me from the couch. She has feelings. We'll get those feelings revealed after we get answers to the question. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's start with Brittani.
Another guess. I just put Escape to Witch Mountain.
And Cain.
But Race to Witch Mountain.
Race to Witch Mountain.
Oh, shoot.
Correct. So Cain ties it up there 3-3 as we get into the next question, which is in Planet of the Apes. How many characters has Roddy McDowall played in the Apes series? These movies are pretty awesome. There are some that are poo, but I think the good outweighs the bad. I think. Who knows? I could be a crazy person. I am a crazy person. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Cain.
3.
And Brittani.
I put 3 as well.
2 is the correct answer, being Cornelius and Caesar. All right. Guys, your next question is in Fandom Oscars. Before the most recent Oscar ceremony, who was the only person who had won an Oscar for composing a Pixar film? Oscars are a thing. I say it every time. I'll say it again. Love watching the ceremony. Hate the category. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. I think we are to Brittani first.
Saw a lot of their scores, so I just guessed Brandy Newman.
And Cain.
Michael Giacchino.
Michael Giacchino is correct for composing the film Up. All right. The penultimate question is in the category of the MCU. What is the first name of Star-Lord's mother in Guardians of the Galaxy? Maggie, what was your issue with Race to Witch Mountain? Oh, you knew the answer, so you glared at me? That's rude. That's unfortunate. It's very mean of you. 5, 4.
Repeat the question.
3. All right, it's going to be Cain's first repeat in the category of the MCU. What is the first name of Star-Lord's mother in Guardians of the Galaxy? Guardians of the Galaxy being my second favorite film in the MCU. Big fan of this one. Was my number one for a long time, but I really had to check my emotions at the door and realize there is one that is better. And now that's my one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Cain, we will start with you.
Meredith.
And Brittani.
Yeah, Meredith.
Meredith is correct. All right. We are now going into the final question, which is in the category of Middle Earth. When Theoden awakens from Saruman's trance in the Two Towers, he learns that which member of his family has died. Lots of questions about death in this round. I apologize to the fans of Fandom Fights for bringing you a depressing match this evening, but it's okay.
It's like a Disney movie.
It's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Brittani, will start with you.
His son.
And Cain.
You said his brother.
His son is correct. So Brittani ties it up 5-5. At the end of round number 1, we are all tied up going into round number 2. Here's how round number 2 is going to work. We're going to bring up the wheel from wheeldecide.com. Each player is going to have a chance to spin the wheel. If they like what they spin the first time, they can keep it, or they can choose to spin again, but they have to keep whatever they spin the second time. Each question is worth 2 points apiece, unless you decide to go to multiple choice. Then it will be worth only 1 point. And lady and gentlemen, don't know if you know this, but in round 2, there's this thing called stealing. If you get a question wrong, your opponent can steal the points, and you need those points. So be careful, look out. Okay. We will bring in Mr. Koho since we are tied and Cain is the higher seed. The categories on the wheel are Disney Animation, DC, DreamWorks Animation, Marvel, MCU, Fandom Quotes, The Wizarding World, and Pixar. So, Cain, would you like to spin first or defer to Brittani?
What do you think?
I'm thinking we go second, let her take something we don't want.
Sounds great.
All right. So we'll bring in Mr. Beller for Brittany's spin at the wheel. And your first spin lands on Pixar. Would you like to keep it or spin again?
I trust your judgment. How are you feeling about this?
There's worse out there. I think I should stick with it.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So, Brittani, you will be getting your questions in the category of Pixar. Are you prepared?
Yep.
All right, your first question. What instrument does Joe's student Connie play in Soul?
Can I go multiple choice to be safe?
All right, your options are A, saxophone, B, trumpet, C, trombone, D, drums.
I go C, trombone.
That is correct for 1 point. Your next question. Which Pixar film features Fenton's ice cream and a chef named Epsilon?
I'll take multiple choice on that.
All right. Your options are A, Up, B, Ratatouille, C, Finding Dory, D, Toy Story 4.
I'll go with D.
D is in dog.
Mm-hmm.
That is incorrect. Cain, a chance for a 1-point steal. Your options are A, Up, B, Ratatouille, C, Finding Dory, D, Toy Story 4.
I'm going to go with Ratatouille.
That is also incorrect. We were looking for A, Up.
Oh, okay.
All right. Brittany, your next question in Pixar. What type of bug is Slim in A Bug's Life?
Yeah, I'm going to multiple on that.
All right. Your options are A, ladybug, B, grasshopper, C, caterpillar, D, stick bug.
D.
That is correct for 1 point. All right. Your next question. Who voices Evelyn Deaver in The Incredibles 2?
Catherine Keener.
That is correct for 2 points. I realize now it's Dever, so I apologize, but you got it right. Good job. All right. Your final question in the category of Pixar. What does Luigi's business sell in cars?
Wheels? Like car wheels?
Yeah,
Tires? Wheels? Yeah.
Yes, we can accept that.
Okay.
All right. So at the end of Brittany's turn, she has her total up to 11. As Cain still has 5, as we get Cain's spin at the wheel. All right, Cain, your spin is in, and it lands on DC. Would you like to keep it or spin again?
I'd say probably spin again. You can do better.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things that I can do a lot better on.
Yeah, we'll swing him.
Okay, this is what you are stuck with. And it lands on Spinner's Choice.
Disney animation, right?
That or the MCU? Which one are you feeling?
I mean, you've done pretty good in the MCU, done pretty good in Disney. It's a coin toss. I would say Disney personally, leaning for you, but so I'll let you make the call because I know you were going back and forth on it.
I'm going to go with the MCU. I haven't had a chance to answer an MCU question in a while.
And go for it. You got it.
All right. Cain, are you ready for your questions in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Yes, sir.
Your first question. Which MCU film features a character called Ghost?
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That is correct for 2 points. Your second question. What nickname does Carol Danvers call Maria's daughter Monica in Captain Marvel?
Multiple choice.
All right, your options are A, Captain Chaos, B, Commander Mischief, C, Major Pain, D, Lieutenant Trouble.
D, Lieutenant Trouble.
That is correct for 1 point. Your third question. Who directed Iron Man 3?
Shane Black.
That is correct for 2 points. Your fourth question. Martin Starr plays Mr. Harrington in the MCU Spider-Man films, but had a brief cameo in what Phase 1 MCU film?
The Incredible Hulk.
That is correct for 2 points. And your final question. Who is the last character to speak to Ultron in Avengers Age of Ultron?
Vision.
That is correct for 2 points. So at the end of Cain's turn, he gets his total up to 14. Brittany trailing with 11. So it's a 3-point game as we get into round number 3. Here's how it's going to work. It's the betting round. I'm going to say a category. You are then going to have to decide whether you want to bet 0, 1, or 2 on the question. If you get the question right, you gain those points. If you get the question wrong, you lose those points. We will play until someone is mathematically eliminated or the score reaches 0. Cain, you have 2 repeats remaining, and Brittany, you have all 3. Any questions as we get into the round? Okie dokie. Well, we'll bring in your managers. The first category that you can bet points on is going to be YA dystopia.
Taking George for this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like we didn't make any things, but I'm gonna guess.
That doesn't really matter.
I want to say probably 0. Right?
Yep. Nope.
All right. Manager's good?
I'm good.
Yep.
All right. Let's get bets starting with Cain
0.
and Brittany.
Yeah, 0.
All right. Stats only. The question is, what is the full first name of Katniss's sister in the Hunger Games series? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Cain, we'll start with you.
She was Prue Everdeen.
And Brittany.
I put Primrose Everdeen.
Primrose is correct. So no points gained or lost by either competitor as we get into the next category that you guys can bet points on, and that is going to be horror icons.
We don't even got to talk on this one.
We're gonna bet the bank, right?
Exactly, the entire bank.
Who are you leaning towards?
George or Jerry, probably.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Yeah.
Maybe Jerry?
Yeah, let's do Jerry.
Good, Ethan?
Yep.
All right, let's get bets starting with Brittany.
0.
And Cain.
I'd like to bet the entire bank minus the entire bank.
I don't know what that means.
0.
Okay. All right. So both betting 0. Another stats only. The question is, before Halloween 2018, what was the last Halloween film to feature Jamie Lee Curtis? I am a fan of these films, even though there are lots of bad ones. But having watched all 31 of these horror movies twice in the last 5 months is really, you really find your appreciation for some of them, let me tell you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Brittany, we'll start with you.
I put Halloween H2O 20 years later.
And Cain.
I put Halloween 2.
Halloween Resurrection is the correct answer. So, again, no points gained or lost as we get into the third question of the betting round. Still a 3-point game. The category is Star Trek.
Might be able to go George on this one.
Should I go with my gut?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm.
All right, good managers.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yep.
All right, let's get a bet starting with Cain
0.
and Brittany.
Gonna go for it too.
All right, the question is, why does Kirk face a disciplinary hearing in Starfleet Academy at the beginning of Star Trek 09? I have the windows open in the apartment. The birds are chirping. The cars are roaring by. I apologize that I live on a street, but you know, that's how it is. That's one for you, Spence. There you go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Cain, we'll start with you since you bet zip.
He cheated on the Kobayashi Maru test.
And Brittany.
For cheating on the Kobayashi Maru test.
Both correct. Brittany gains 2 points. It is now a 1-point game going into the fourth question, which is in the category of, it's everyone's favorite. It's Jimmy Bond.
Thinking George again?
We're good.
Probably. I mean, I could maybe do Jerry, but what do you think?
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Trust your instincts. Trust your instincts.
I could maybe do Jerry. maybe. I don't know.
Oh man.
What do you
All right,
do?
go for what you think. If you're however you're feeling, you should go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go for Jerry.
All right. Let's get bets starting with Cain
0.
and Brittany.
I'll try to tie it up.
All right. Here's the question. What type of transportation do Donald Grant and Karen Bay die on in From Russia with Love? Also known as a pretty good Bond movie. Not gonna lie. Had to deep cut this one recently, write the questions for the last title match, and yeah, enjoyed it. Enjoyed watching it again. It's not bad. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We will start with Cain.
About.
And Brittany.
Pretty sure it's a train.
It is a train.
Oh, God.
All tied up going into the final question. What a match. All right. One question remaining. Comes down to this. The question is in the category of fandom quotes.
Oh, lovely.
What are you leaning towards?
I mean,
This could go like
it's so
either way.
broad. Like,
Yeah.
This is a shit show.
yeah.
Everything we could end on.
Right? This is the worst one to end on.
Or the best one.
Did I try, George? I mean,
Maybe Kramer or George.
yeah. If we're gonna do Kramer though, shouldn't we do George at that point? Or should I just? What do you think? I don't know.
Oh man,
This is so tough.
This is so it could go
Like any of them,
They're
like
gonna
really.
If you go based on how they're saying the words, they just said, if we go Kramer, then we might as well go George. Which means if we go 1, we might as well go 2.
obviously.
Well, you don't know that, Koho. It could be.
Listen, I went to the Ian Feller School of how to con someone out of
Or it
30
could be.
bucks.
Oh man. Well, what are you guys going?
That's a question we were going to ask you, actually. You want to go to side?
Let's come on.
All right, I'm not going to say anything else. I don't want to influence it because now they know what our code is. So, Brittany, I trust you. Do what you're thinking. It doesn't matter at this point. You played a great game.
Mm-hmm.
It's in your hands. You got this.
I mean, okay.
I just really pray you guys put down the same number. All right, here we go.
Are we good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get bets starting with Cain.
Let's go big or go home, too.
Oh, I did 0.
All right, so here is the sitch. If Cain hits the question, he wins. If he misses, Brittany wins. That's where we're at. So the question is, what DC villain said the quote, "Death does not wait for you to be ready. Death is not considerate or fair, and make no mistake, here you face death"? I'm sweating. I have no one to talk to. But this has been a great match. Coming down to the wire. 5, 4, 3.
Can you repeat the question?
That is going to be Cain's second repeat. Which DC villain said the quote, "Death does not wait for you to be ready. Death is not considerate or fair, and make no mistake, here you face death"? Five, 4, 3,
Can
2.
you repeat the question?
That's going to be Cain's final repeat. Which DC villain said the quote, "Death does not wait for you to be ready. Death is not considerate or fair, and make no mistake, here you face death"?
Yeah.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Brittani, we will start with you since you bet 0.
I don't even know if he's a villain, but I don't care because I didn't bet anything. I just would be the.
And Cain.
I put Bane.
And your winner, Brittani Tapley.
Crap.
The answer was Ra's al Ghul.
Oh,
Batman Begins. Absolutely insane match. We're going to start by talking to Cain and Koho. Guys, this was still a comeback, Cain. This was a great match. You kept pace in round 1, had a great round 2. It looked like MCU was the right call, and it just kind of came down to a couple betting decisions. If you bet on a couple of those questions that you hit, might be a different outcome. But how are you guys feeling?
I kind of wanted to bet 2 on the last question, not going to lie, but then they said, if we go for 1, we might as well go for 2. And I was like, we got to match whatever they do just to try and keep this alive in a sudden death. And they just kind of faked us out 1-0. So hats off to them. They did a good job there. But yeah, I think Cain played really good today. That was a solid comeback. MC was magic. And that the betting round was just a lot of categories where not necessarily things we would have liked to have gotten in a betting round. Just not a lot. The randomizer didn't really like us today. But it's all good. We'll be back.
Yeah, absolutely. Cain, we obviously want to have you back after the tournament, but how are you feeling about your first match back in Fandom since 2019?
I'm bummed. Like not even okay. I'm just bummed. Like, of course I wanted to win. And like I had the right trilogy. I was thinking like I literally had it between Ra's al Ghul and Bane, and I was like, well, I guess like Bruce almost dies and like the Dark Knight Rises. So I'm like, that's kind of like what swayed me that way. Yeah. So it always sucks to like lose, especially on this one, because it's a very similar way to how I lost against Maggie. So it's like it always sucks. Because I felt like I did good. Round 3, I literally got like none of my strengths, which really sucked.
Yeah.
Like I've watched so many Trademarks movies, and like it just sucks. Yeah. So it's like I prepped for it. I just prepped the wrong stuff. So it is what it is. Hopefully the next time I play, I'll play better. Because I'm not gonna stop studying because it sucks to lose and I don't like losing. So therefore, I just gotta put in more work.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't expect anything else from Cain McMillan. So guys, we will see you post tournament with your next match. But great job today, nonetheless, Cain. Let's move over to the winner today, Brittani. What a match. You played great. Like I said to Cain, you kept pace in round 1. Round 2, you looked a little nervous, but you got the points you needed to. You bet when you needed to. You're smart not to bet on YA and horror and Star Trek going big, and then betting on Bond. That kind of.
I never thought that would do it, but.
But how are you guys feeling about the first Club Dread match with Brittani?
Well, I'm feeling great. I mean, Koho said in the beginning that Club Dread doesn't know what they're doing, but clearly, I mean, the number 31 seed taking out the number 2 seed and singles and teams belts would beg to differ. So I'm super happy with how Brittani played. She was great. I'm not very good at managing in Fandom, and she literally just won on her own at the end there because that 0 bet was brilliant, and that's what got the win. So hats off to her. I'm really excited to see her just kind of carve her way through this tournament, make a name for herself here. She did great. Cain's really good too, by the way. I just want to put that out there. Brittani, how are you feeling about your first big win?
Good. That was definitely not my best game by any means. Like a little bit of nerves, and Pixar is one of them iffy categories. But like, hey, I pulled it off. Yeah, I'm still pretty surprised that I won, honestly.
Well, we're not. We're happy that you're here, and we're Club Dread. We got another great player. So.
This does mean that you move on in the tournament. You're going to move on to round number 2. You'll be playing the number 15 seed, Jake Meltzer, in round number 2. How are you guys feeling about that?
He's good, and he's geek, if I believe. Oh, he killed Star Trek in his last game, so I know I can't use that. But I think I'll be ready for him. I mean, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. She'll be ready.
We're excited for it. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
We'll see you in round number 2. All right. But that's going to do it for us today at Fandom Fights. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, we'll be back with more matches very soon. We got one more match in round number 1. That is going to be the 1 seed, Thomas Scully, going up against the number 32 seed, Regev Benvase. And then we move on to round number 2 of the tournament. So be on the lookout for everything else happening in the tournament here in Fandom and over in Warzone. They're doing their tournament right now too. So be on the lookout for all those matches. But thank you to Brittani and Ethan, Koho and Cain. I have been Tim. Thank you for watching. We will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
We are so glad you came. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye now. Bye. Bye-bye. Remember, please discard all candy wrappers and popcorn containers in the nearest trash receptacle. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye. Okay. Are they all gone? Is everybody gone? Huh? Good.